You are looking at a sold-out London arena. Yes, we are at ringside for this worldwide exclusive as part of World Championship Wrestling's UK Invasion Tour. And at ringside, alongside Tony Schiavone, this is Mike Tenay. Tony, this exclusive matchup to feature, well, a very stout-looking individual by the name of Drew McDonald in his WCW debut. And I guess that Mr. McDonald has some association in the past with our own Dave Fit Finlay.
Drew McDonald, kind of a protege of Dave Fit Finlay, another man from Ireland, another wrestler from Ireland. And it looks like Mike that he's bursting through that singlet right there. It doesn't even fit over the upper part of the body.
Complete with every possible tattoo that you could imagine. And you can see by the look on the face of Drew McDonald that he is here to make a name for himself, and he's going to try and make a name for himself at the expense of this man, Buff Bagwell.
Now, believe it or not, Buff Bagwell, for as great as he is, and for outstanding of a record that he's had in WCW, Buff has had to travel across the Atlantic. He's had to take that 7-hour flight from Atlanta, Georgia, so in many ways, Drew McDonald may have some sort of an advantage here since he's wrestled in London, he's wrestled over here on a regular basis, so it's a very important match for Buff Bagwell.
Sort of a home ring advantage for Drew McDonald, and certainly the WCW fans very aware of what Buff Bagwell has accomplished in his 9+ years with the WCW organization. In the mind of Drew McDonald, he can erase all that here in one night in this one-on-one matchup with Charles Robinson, the referee, who calls for the opening bell. And another advantage here is that Drew McDonald, I'm sure, has been watching Buff Bagwell on WCW TV, where Buff Bagwell has never seen Drew McDonald wrestle before. He hasn't had that chance to scout his opponent.
There was a lot of talk in the backstage area right before he went on the air, and Fit Finlay, of course, works behind the scenes in WCW as one of the agents, and there was a lot of questions asked about Drew McDonald. One thing Fit told us was, think about how sick I am as a guy, as a competitor. You can multiply that by 10 when you talk about Drew McDonald. So,
well, that's saying a mouthful, because Finlay, one of the fiercest competitors ever to lace up a pair of boots in WCW, and McDonald, well, he has the advantage in the early going with a side slam, plants Buff in the middle of the ring.
One thing McDonald cannot afford to do is to be too methodical. Now, you see he's using basically the techniques and the strategy that he knows best, which is a pretty sound game plan. But he must stay on Buff, because Buff has a lot of resiliency, and he can mount a comeback at any time.
Right hand to the side of the face. That one jacked the jaw of Buff Bagwell. Bagwell able to duck the clothesline. Comes springing off the ropes with a flying cross body block. Does not go for a pinfall attempt. Instead, back off the ropes, and there's the swinging neck breaker. McDonald slowly to his feet, and he's got the big man rocking in the corner, and now look at Bagwell immediately follow up the advantage with the corner mount.
Well, Buff loves the showboat. We talked about it, maybe making a mistake. But Mike, he's been doing it so long, and he's successful with it. Just let him do what he knows best.
Series of right hands to the side of the head of McDonald, who comes out face first out of the corner. And now Bagwell quickly takes McDonald. An attempt to send him off into the corner is reversed. The float over by Bagwell. Doubled over McDonald with a boot to the midsection, and then spiked him with a double arm DDT. Hook of the leg, shoulders down, that's 2, and McDonald kicks out at 2.
Pretty sound game plan so far. Buff has not tried to pick the big man up.
Back to the pin attempt again, and another 2 count from referee Robinson. And, well, look at Bagwell. Very emotional, getting right in the face of the referee, and that cost him, because as he turns around, McDonald catches him unaware with a pair of right hands.
Interesting enough, there's been some very unkind things said over the past few weeks between Buff Bagwell and Jeff Jarrett, and I'm sure that's something that's going to play out over the next couple of weeks in WCW. Watch out here.
Certainly an ongoing rivalry in World Championship Wrestling as McDonald connects with a headbutt, and he gets a 2 count before Bagwell is able to lift the 270-pounder up off the pin attempt. Now McDonald in control. Scoop, mid-ring, and a sit-out slam that time. Drops Bagwell down. Nonchalant cover, awfully cocky, awful confident, and he only gets 2. Poor weight positioning that time by McDonald allowed Bagwell to escape.
And you talked about being able to scout Bagwell, watching him on Worldwide, watching him on Thunder and Nitro. Had he scouted Bagwell extensively, he would have known not to make a nonchalant cover like that.
Wow. McDonald loses his focus. You saw that lapse in concentration just momentarily. That enables Bagwell to get to his feet. Out of the corner. Nice slam off the top turnbuckle by Bagwell. Bagwell asks the fans for support. They're behind him. He just hit the running clothesline. A second running lariat. McDonald down again, and it's time for Buff to strut. Now Bagwell up off the middle ropes. Could it be time for the blockbuster? It's exactly what it is. Buff blockbuster off the middle ropes by Bagwell. Goes to the cover. Gets two. Got it.
So Buff Bagwell, all the way in London, England, comes away with a well-deserved win over Drew McDonald. And Drew McDonald, pretty tough competitor. First time we've seen him on Worldwide Wrestling. Pushed Buff to the limit, but once again the power and the agility of Buff came into play here.
Very competitive matchup in this worldwide exclusive as Buff Bagwell is able to hold on and get the win, and let's take another look.
It all came down to one move, and Buff knew that once he had it on, that would be all she wrote. The winner of a match and a sensational win for Buff Bagwell.
There you see it again, the hook of the leg. Buff Bagwell ensuring the victory. Buff goes to the old reliable move. He uses the blockbuster, and Buff Bagwell scores the victory.